I started the mentoring program in 1996, so this is our 25th year. I was working at the Department of Social Services as a foster parent caseworker, and young people were coming in the building, yelling, fighting, cursing, and it just dawned on me not too long ago, having come back from the Million Man March, start a mentoring program. Ask about getting space on Saturdays. So I wrote a proposal up. I took it to the director and asked, could I use space on a Saturday? We started with 5 young men, and I always wanted to do a group mentoring program because our young men back then and even now more so need to learn how to get along with one another. So we started with 5, and it's just grown over the years. We've served over 3,000, and now we have between 35 and 45 at any particular meeting. Early on, it was a labor of love. I mean, I felt bad about the young men who didn't have any guidance. The majority that came to me were being raised by a mother, a auntie, a grandmother. So that bothered me. So it was just, the hard part was coming up with ideas to do things, to challenge the young men. But I had help. People wanted to pitch in their time, fellow workers at the department. Killed yesterday in Baltimore City? 7. In one day. So my point is, I want you to stay alive. I want them to stay alive. If somebody just says something, we need to stay away from negative forces. Stay away from negative energy. Somebody just saying something, you can ignore that and live to see another day.
One thing that I would say about the program is for what it is, it teaches kids about how to respect one another and how to conduct themselves out in public, and so it really keeps them from getting in trouble a lot because it teaches them what not to do so they won't do it.
Many of our young men had not been out of Baltimore. After 25 years, the last 10, we've taken overnight trips where we leave on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. We're going to New York and other places, to an animal farm. I readily remember those. Went to the harbor. We've elevated to going to Princeton and Yale and Morehouse and Howard and Duke, Hampton, Delaware State, Johns Hopkins. Wanted them to see where Dr. King was assassinated. And we went down to the Civil Rights Museum. We went to Lane College. And I just think each time we do this, we grow, I grow, but the young men grow because they're getting to see things that they never got to see. And hopefully they're thinking about, if I work hard, I can do this with my family. At some point, you're going to be responsible for working a job, maybe 2, to keep food on the table, to pay the water, to pay the gas and electric, to pay the rent or the mortgage. While you got this time where you don't have all these responsibilities, please don't waste it. I'm not sure there are a lot of group mentoring programs that do what we do. We haven't always had a tutoring component, so that's a milestone to me. We've been able to add some things that will help cajole, motivate young people. So now we're not just meeting on the first and third. First, it was just the third Saturday, and then the idea came, I'll say from God, hey, you need to do this more. So now we do the first and the third Saturday. And the last few years, we've added a tutoring component where we tutor Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday is math, Tuesday is English literacy, Wednesday is computer programming. So those are our milestones that we've added. And oh, by the way, this will be our 4th year doing a STEM camp. So in the summertime, we have a 5-week STEM camp. This year it'll go from July 11th through August 12th. So I think it's important for young men to have male role models because they are young men. We thank God that there was a mother, an auntie, a grandmother to raise them, but the majority didn't have that male guidance. And that's so important. No one to teach them how to tie a tie. No one to tell them the importance of a firm handshake and eye contact. No one to have those fatherly discussions. Or you shouldn't hang on that particular street because on that particular street there's a lot of gunplay, or there's a lot of drug dealing, or there's this, or there's that. So having them come to the mentoring program, we could talk about a lot of different things. I developed a chant, things I had heard, and I will say those things, and the young, I call them kings. The kings will repeat after me. I am somebody. I love myself. I have self-worth. If it is to be, it is up to me. For good, better, or best, never let it rest until my good gets better and my better gets best. I love myself. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Failure is not an option. And to encourage them to repeat those things while they're at home, stand in the mirror, learn to memorize. And when we meet, every time we meet, I have the kings, as I call them, repeat after me these particular chants. And the hope is that these sayings, these mantras will permeate the subconscious mind, and the young men will begin to believe. God has played an integral role in helping me to have direction, because it's very easy to get sidetracked. I'm in a fraternity. I have my own family. There are a lot of things that could be taking up my time, but I've made the sacrifice because I want to leave the world better than I found it. I want to leave Baltimore better than I found it. At some point, I'm going to step off the stage, and we want to have done and said and touched enough young people so that there'll be at least one, if not more than one, to want to step up and keep it going, this program, so it can reach untold generations. So